G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of Wine Back Wednesday, and today I'm tasting a lovely wine from Thomas Morey out of Burgundy in the east of Paris, the home I suppose of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay in the world. Obviously a lot of other countries around the world that make exceptional examples of these varieties, but his family, his grandfather had a winery up in Chassagne-Montrachet, and his father and brother still make booze. But Thomas started making his estate in 2006 and has got access to quite a few plots with his wife Sylvie. They've got 7 plots out of Chassagne-Montrachet. The jewel in the crown obviously is a vineyard that they source from in Montrachet. There's a bit in Montrachet, a bit in Beaune, and a bit of and 3 plots in Saint-Aubin as well for their white wines. They do have some number of vineyards as well that they source their Pinot Noir from, making their red wines. This wine, 2020 vintage, great vintage. Really, but his wines, compared to his brother and his father, he picks a bit earlier. They're more austere, more sort of vibrant and tense. Nice tension on the wines. So really good acidity and freshness. This wine is only, I believe, is 50% stainless steel, so inert stainless steel in tank, and then the rest is in barrel. French, good high quality French oak obviously, and he doesn't use any more than about 15% new oak in any of his wines, and I assume this being the Bourgogne. So Bourgogne is sort of the introduction to the portfolio. Obviously the French use appellation systems, in particular Burgundy, and so you have area designates, vineyard designates, and plot designates, and sort of single vineyards or designates. So it all comes under the nomenclature, and as you get higher up, you get sort of the CRU status of the vineyard can go up as well. And obviously Montrachet is the pinnacle of his portfolio, and those wines will set you back about $1,000 Australian a bottle, roughly, off the top of my head. And whereas these ones are a lot more, I suppose, accessible for the general population. They make more of this, and obviously some of those higher end single vineyard, single plot ones, they only have 2 or 3 rows often, and so the production is very limited and very scarce, and the wines are exceptional quality as well. So I think, off the top of my head, I think they access 50 odd plots, but only have about 9 or 10 hectares of vineyard, which is about 25 acres. So you can imagine, on average, it might only be 0.2 or 0.3 hectares per plot that they access. So in Burgundy, though, the plantings are a lot closer than, say, are in Australia, for various reasons, but we won't go into that. So there they might be 1 metre by 1 metre in some cases, so really small, whereas in Australia, say in the McLaren Vale, it might be 3 metres by 1.8 or 3.2 by 1.8. In the Adelaide Hills, it may vary from, say, 2.4 to 2.6 metres wide by about 1 to 1.8 metres planting space. So definitely high density of vineyards in France. So 0.2 of a hectare there, you have a lot more vineyard and fruit yield as you would, say, in 0.2 of a hectare in Australia typically. Without further ado, really austere, lovely citrus notes, little sort of white peach notes, lift. There's a little bit of oak in the background and some nice yeasty notes sort of floating there, but overall very austere and fresh. And similarly on the palate, really lovely fine citrus weight, lovely acidity, really vibrant and austere, and you can feel that the acidity is even mouth-watering. So it's a bit cooler today, so I mean, well, this is just straight out of the cellar, so I didn't take it out of the fridge. Perfect temperature. You shouldn't serve these kind of white wines too cold at all, so maybe sort of 14, 15 degrees, maybe a little bit cooler, 12 to 15 maybe. The colder you go, it hides some of the fruit character and the flavour, and so if it goes too hot, it gets too broad and it's not overly appealing at all. So straight out of the cellar, I reckon it's probably about 12, 13 degrees, I think. But lovely austerity and vibrancy, really focused, a lovely wine. This will go down in the cellar for a number of years, but I like drinking them reasonably fresh. So thanks for listening. Another wine from in the lineup of the Wine Back Wednesday. Thanks for listening. I'll speak to you soon.